very difficult to understand how a man would ask you to have his children, yet they have not claimed you. What I fail to understand even more is women who actually accept to be baby mamas. So this man who claims to love you, loves you but not enough to marry you first. This man loves you but not enough to do the right thing. This man loves you but not enough to come ask for your hand in marriage from your parents. This man loves you but not enough to come pay dowry. This man loves you but not enough to actually sign a document to show that they are your husband, giving you the full rights of a wife. This man loves you but not enough to actually legitimize the children you get with him by marrying you. Hi lovelies, how are you? Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, karibu sana. If you're a returning subscriber, karibu. And if you haven't subscribed yet, kindly do, all right? So today's video will be a continuation of another video I did some time back, linked in the description, where I talked about my non-negotiables, 2 non-negotiables to be specific. I have a lot more, but I spoke about the 2 topmost, and they were not being a baby mama and not cohabiting, or rather living with a man who's not my husband. Now, I got a lot of flack for that. So this is a jumper from that, and I'll be continuing in on the idea of not being a baby mama. Now, I know this is a very triggering topic because we do have a lot of baby mamas and there are a lot of circumstances that have led them to be there. I must make a distinction. There's a difference between a widow and a divorcee who has children and a baby mama. A divorcee and a widow were wives first. A baby mama was a mother first. Get the difference? And I'm not trying to say that a baby mama is lower on the totem pole and a widow and a divorcee are high on the totem pole, but the fact of the matter is, whether we want to admit it or not, there are levels to this, and people view you differently if you are a baby mama as compared to if you are a widow or if you're a divorcee. Because when you're a divorcee or a widow, the man chooses you first. If you're a baby mama, you just happen to have a baby first. Okay, so anyway, back to the topic. The reason why I will not be a baby mama. Now, there's this phenomenon that I've been hearing around for some time. When a man tells you that they want you to be the mother of their children, but they do not take the step to actually claim you, and by claiming you here I mean marrying you, and by marrying you I mean paying dowry and going to the AG or getting married at the church, whichever the case, there must be a certificate. That's what I mean by marriage, so no cohabitating. No, so it baffles me why a man would want you to have his child or children but not take the step first to make you their wife. It's kind of upside down, and it does not make sense to me at all, because a man is supposed to provide, but even more importantly, a man is supposed to protect. And if there's something that women like, or there's something that draws women in and give us a sense of security and safety, is when the man claims us, okay, and in this case makes us their wife. You see, men are the relational gatekeepers. Men are the relational gatekeepers, and what that means is that the ones who ask you to be their girlfriend, then they're the ones who ask you to marry you, to be their wife, then they make you their wife. So they claim you first, and that's why I find it very difficult for women who end up proposing to men, in the topic of another day. So if a man wants you to be the mother of their children, but they're not ready to first make you their wife, to be quite honest, I think that man doesn't like you. Actually, that man hates you. Because why wouldn't they do the right thing? Why would they provide you that emotional security, you and the children emotional security? I'm not trying to tell you that what to do with your life. I'm not trying to tell you that this is the right thing to do. You live your life. Make your own choices, so long as you can live with those consequences. Because there are also consequences to getting married. There are also consequences to getting a baby within, having a child within marriage, all right? So that's not the thing. And again, remember, my approach is not a moral one. So don't come here thinking that I'm preaching to you. I am not. My Standards are based purely on logic, common sense. Like, it does not make sense to me how you would live with a man who's not your husband, give them wife privileges, yet they have not claimed you. They have not come to ask for your hand in marriage. There's no certificate in government showing that you're the wife. What if he passes away? What rights do you have? And I will not be a baby mama simply because this man has not claimed me, made me their wife first. So it lacks protection from that perspective. Okay? Another thing, again from a logical standpoint, there are levels to this. And I'm not judging anybody who's a baby mama, by the way. Today, specifically, I'll be talking about baby mamas. And more specifically, I'll be talking about men who ask women to give them babies or to have their babies, but do not actually ask them to marry them. They do not claim you first, but want you to give up your life, give up your body to have their children, but they do not want to claim you. They're not asking for your hand in marriage. There's no certificate in government showing that they've married you. They have not come to pay dowry to your parents. So they're literally not claiming you, but they love you enough to want to have children with you. They love you enough to want to be with you for the rest of their life in a cohabitating state. So that's what we'll be talking about today. So again, remember that my point of view and my standards are based purely on logic and not on morality. So don't come at me at I'm trying to judge. I'm not judging you. That's your conscience judging you. If you chose to be a baby mama, that's on you. If circumstances found you there, again, you made the choice, you're living that life, so you have to figure out a way to actually maneuver your life as a baby mama. So it's not about that, okay? So I find it very difficult to understand how a man would ask you to have his children, yet they have not claimed you. What I fail to understand even more is women who actually accept to be baby mamas to men who have not claimed them. Like, how? It beats logic for me. Just make me understand for 2 seconds, right? So this man who claims to love you, loves you but not enough to marry you first. Loves you but not marry you enough. Loves you but does not love you enough to actually give you the protection of being their wife first by claiming you. This man loves you but not enough to do the right thing. This man loves you, but not enough to come ask for your hand in marriage from your parents. This man loves you, but not enough to come pay dowry. This man loves you, but not enough to actually sign a document to show that they are your husband, giving you the full rights of a wife. This man loves you, but not enough to actually legitimize the children you get with him by marrying you. How does that is the most nonsensical thing I have ever heard. But even more worrying are the women who actually fall for this. Like, how? You must be so desperate. You must have very low self-esteem. And this is not me insulting you. Like, it just beats logic. You must really have very low self-esteem to accept to give a man a baby without him first doing the right thing. Without him first coming to your parents. Without him first coming, to pay dowry if you're African. Without him first going to the AG or going to a church or just in front of a pastor and signing the marriage certificate. You must be really desperate. Because how do you accept such a low status? How do you accept to be duped and trapped? And the funniest thing, that man, the day he'll actually find his dream woman, he'll be like, when can I come see your parents? When can I come ask for your hand in marriage? When can I pay dowry? Who are your brothers? Can I come see your father? They will move heaven and earth to be with you and to claim you. But here you are settling because, I want to give him children. He loves me. He'll take care of us. Like, honestly, mama, just wake up, snap out of it. Are you really that desperate to be with a man that you're willing to be a baby mama? Are you that desperate? And again, I'm not trying to say that marriage is an end-all be-all. There are issues in marriages, left, right, and center. There are issues, and marriage takes work, but it works. But at the end of the day, have some self-respect and some dignity to yourself and standards that you're not going to accept a lowball offer to give a man your body to birth his children when he has not done the right thing. That's why, by the way, I prefer arranged marriages that Arabs and Indians have, and some, it makes perfect sense. And in fact, if you look at those cultures, the cases of baby mamas and single motherhood are very, very low. Because what happens? The man goes to the brothers, the uncles, and the father of the woman to ask for their hand in marriage. Multiple men actually go to ask for their hand, for that woman's hand in marriage. But you're here giving up your life and your body to men who have not claimed you, to men who don't even know where your parents live, to men, it pisses me off, because there's so much value we have as women. There's so much worth we have as women, but we do not love ourselves enough. We do not have enough self-dignity. We do not have enough self-worth. So some of us are even just telling men, I just want to have your baby. I just want, how? Are you really that desperate? I'd like to meet your mother, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I'd like to meet your parents. I'm curious how you were raised. Because to me, it beats complete logic how, having children is such a sacred thing. Having children is such a commitment. So you're willing to commit your body, you're willing to commit your life to have children for a man who can't even give you his last name. Able to pinch yourself in the ears. How? I vowed to myself, I will never be a baby mama. I vowed to myself, I will not give a man a child who has not claimed me. Never. I was ready by then to stay single the rest of my life. I was ready to get married way later in life. But I knew I needed to do the right thing, not just for me, but for any children I was going to have, if I was going to have children. So women, just wake up to your value and your worth. Don't be so easily impressionable. Don't be so easily duped by these men who are claiming they love you, but not enough to claim you. How does that make sense on God's earth? On this Beyonce's internet? How does it make sense? That's actually the most nonsensical thing I've ever heard. So you're ready to give your body up to bear children for a man who has not claimed you. You're ready to put your life on hold for a man who has not claimed you. Because by having children back there, I remember being pregnant, and I remember particularly the first 2 years of when my baby was a baby, the first 2 years, those were the most vulnerable times in my life. Vulnerable. My body was doing things I've never seen. I was growing this human in my tummy that, just the changes, the hormonal changes, the body changes, the mind changes. It's like I can't even explain to you. That's the most vulnerable time that I've ever had in my life. Actually, let's say the 3 years, the 9 months I was pregnant, and then the 2 years. And then you want to tell me I'm going to allow myself to be vulnerable to a man who did not stand in front of people and vowed to not only love me, but to protect me and to take care of me. He's not accountable to anybody. He's not accountable to your family. Probably he hasn't even ever met your family. He doesn't know who your people are. He's not accountable to anybody. So he can choose to walk away, or he can choose to mess up your life, because he's not accountable to anybody. So you want to tell me you're willing to go through 9 months of pregnancy, and the first 2 years, when the child is a baby, be that vulnerable to a man who has not claimed you, to a man who's not accountable to any of your relatives, particularly your male relatives? How? Please make me understand, because it beats logic. And I know we are feminists, or most of us are feminists, or most of you are feminists, and it is your body, your choice, your life, your choice. Fantastic. You do you. But come on, honestly. Are you trying to tell me, or rather are you trying to convince yourself that being a baby mama and being a single woman is the best you can do. Because you have a right to choose, you've chosen to be a baby mama. Because you have a right to choose, you've chosen to be a single mom. Honestly, just come closer. That is the best choice you could do for yourself. Because you're a feminist, you have the right to choose, you have the right to have as many babies as you want, you have the right to be a baby mama. Honestly, I know even for the most fierce feminist, we all want a joint family for our kids. We all want to give our kids that stability of family structure. And a lot of the people who claim they want to be a single moms by choice, a lot of them, if you're really, really honest with yourself, you either have very low self-esteem or you don't genuinely believe that you can find somebody who can take care of you. It just is what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. And this is not me glorifying marriage. You don't have to be married, by the way. Again, your life, your choice. But every choice has a consequence. Children who grow within a family unit where there's a mother and a father are much more stable than children who grow up in single parent households. Because power does not like a vacuum. And kids get to have that balance, feminine and masculine energy at home. So you're here saying that your life, your choice, you're a feminist, you can choose to have children out of wedlock. Fantastic. But remember, your choice, this fantastic feminine or feminist choice of yours, is actually going to affect your children. So while it might seem fair to you, you're actually being unfair to your kids and whichever kids you're going to actually have. So again, this madness that we've come to right now of women offering their bodies and their lives to have children for men who have not claimed them is absurdity. And I wish women would actually wake up to their worth and to their value. Do you know currently the global birth rates have actually declined? And one of the reasons why they have declined is because more women are actually choosing to have fewer children. More women are actually more educated. More women are actually employed. So more women have come to the consciousness that, you know what, I can choose not to have children. I can choose to have a certain number of children. Women are not just having children left, right, and center. But here you are, absconding your power, absconding your value, absconding your worth, and having children with a man who has not claimed you. He can't even tell which village you came from. He can even pass your siblings on the street because he has never met them. But you're here offering your children, your body to this man, your life to this man. And I am saying this with the utmost love to you. I want the best for you. I genuinely do. And this is not me judging you. Or maybe I am. But we need to make better choices as women. We need to make better choices for ourselves. We need to make better choices for our children. To do the right thing. Like really look at Muslim countries in the Middle East, Asian countries. The cases of single motherhood are very low as compared to here, who are more Christian. So while we are here claiming to be Christian, and I put that in air quotes because clearly, how are we having children out of wedlock? Willingly having children out of wedlock? How? And then you're having a child. How? And remember when I was doing that other video for the cohabitation and not being a baby mama? How do you even introduce this man? This is my baby daddy. Like, sorry. It's nauseating. I'm sorry, like I'm genuinely feeling nauseated right now. This is the father of my children, who's not really my husband, but we share a bed. So we are kind of sort of roommates, and you're probably going 50-50. No wonder, by the way. If you notice, by the way, a lot of these men who do not want to marry you want you to be 50-50. Do a case study. I'm not saying that it does not exist for women who are in fully fledged marriages, who are even went and signed the marriage certificate in church and what have you. There are as well 50-50 couples there. But majority of the 50-50 couples are found in people who cohabitate. Because to him, you're a roommate. You're just there to help him reduce the bill. So anyway, so this is my human being who is the father of my children, but is not really my husband. Like seriously, I'm feeling nauseated by the thought of it. This is not even me being dramatic, or maybe I am. The thought of it alone is so nauseating to me. I can never imagine giving a man who's not my husband a child. Like, bedhe nimechafuka roho. Seriously, nimechafuka roho. I can't. Like, I'm nauseated. The thought of it alone just makes me feel nauseated. How? Like, seriously, how? You must be really sick in the head as a man to come approach a woman and ask them to have your kids and you have not claimed them. But you must also be more, let me try to sanitize my language. You must also be very desperate as a woman to actually accept that offer. You must be, honestly, just think about it. You must be really desperate. So this is a man who's duping you and you are a woman who's just accepting to be duped. I thought being educated meant you know how to make better decisions. And a lot of these women you find who accept to be baby mamas willingly and who have low self-esteem, a lot of them have a lot of trauma and a scarcity mentality. That's why they will accept this lowball offer. And sometimes they'll even offer themselves to the man. Or even try to trap the man. Hoping the man will marry them. Akianan. You know, if a man is not ready to marry, even if you give him 10 children, he will not marry you. Look at the story of Jacob, Leah and Rachel. So Jacob wanted to marry Rachel, but then he was duped and ended up marrying Leah. And Leah did anything and everything. But guess what? Jacob did not love her the same way he loved Rachel. And to prove how much he loved Rachel, what did he do? Initially, he was to work 7 years, okay, to be able to get Rachel. He was duped and got Leah and worked another 7 years. Which man has even worked 14 years for you to get you? Which man? I was being told of a story where a man shows up empty-handed and he just take me as I am. Aki people can just be jokesters. These jokes are just writing themselves. It's so infuriating how women do not know their value. How women, out of desperation, either lower their standards or have no standards at all. Do you understand the seriousness of having children? Do you? So why would you take such a serious decision for a man who has not claimed you? Honestly, like, call yourself for a meeting. What within you, is it low self-esteem? Is it trauma that has made you accept that? Because I genuinely do not understand that. I genuinely do not understand that. I remember growing up, my mom one day, we were just in the kitchen and I don't know where the thought came from. And she was like, Mommy, you know what? You can't buy love. I mean, you can't eat love. She was like, you know, Mommy, what? You know what? You cannot eat love. You can't eat love. So a man is over. So then what do you do now that you're a baby mama? Because I mean, it happened. So what do you do now? You make better choices, simply. I'm not telling you to leave the baby daddy or whoever it is you're living with. But make better choices. That's all I'm going to say. Make better choices. So, I know this was me getting in on you, but I think the truth has to be told. I think people, and particularly the generations after, because I'm over different generation, you want to be lied to, you want to be sugar-coated, you become too sensitive, yeah? But you need to be served the truth. And the truth of the matter is there's no benefit to being a baby mama. None. And while you might be a feminist and want to make the choice to be a baby mama, well, good for you. But what good is that doing the children that you're going to get out of that? Make better choices for yourself. Make better choices for your kids. And any man who approaches you and fixes their mouth to ask you to be their baby mama, just have kids for me, nonsense. How? How? Do I have stupid written on my forehead? Because that's clearly what they're telling you. They're trying to dupe you and trap you. Because you know what is going to happen? They're going to switch and bait and switch you. So they'll bait you into having a kid with them, telling you that, you know what, if you marry me, or rather, they'll bait and switch. They'll bait you by telling you know what, have a baby for me, and then I'll marry you. Then you have the first kid. And then you have the second one. And then the marriage is not coming. Kidogo, you break up, because that is not clearly. Breakups are for. Anyway, yeah, you break up. Then he marries. Proper. Goes even to church and pays dowry. Then what are you? A baby mama. Make better choices for yourself and your kids. Have enough self-worth and dignity and self-confidence to actually turn down any man who offers you something that is an insult. Because that's an insult to your face. Can you come and tell your brothers and your father, you know what, I want to live with this woman and I'm not going to marry her? Because a lot of you women, or rather a lot of us women, we are not very good at decoding male language. And a lot of men tell us exactly what they want us to hear. And they will dupe us and lie to us left, right, and center, and we are here buying their lies. Fine, you want to marry me? You want me to have your kids? Fine, I'll have your kids. Marry me first. And if you're not willing to, well, there are other men. You're not the only man. Have that confidence. Have that self-esteem. Have that mental, what do you call it, abundance mentality. To tell any man who does not come at you correctly to step off. So anyway, there was this, until next time, keep shining, keep smiling, please have better standards, have that self-confidence to reject any lowball offers. Because this is not, we are making better choices in 2024 onwards. We are waking up to our value, we are waking up to our worth, and we're having the confidence to say no to anything that does not augur well with our standards and our values. So until next time, toodles.